sorry I got angry too.
You don't have to be sorry.
Your exam starts.
Unsurprisingly with that title, this is a very straightforward love song. Here's what Joesef, aka Flowerovlove, says about the song. Love You is an incredibly magical song I wrote with my brother. The song is about universal love, all-inclusive love. This is a love song that can be sung about anyone, your mom, your dog, your best friend, or even your grandmother. Within the theme of love, Valentine's Day comes to my mind as the song celebrates love, so releasing it close to Valentine's Day is perfect. I want everyone to feel nostalgia from Love You and to be able to connect it to a loved one. Honestly, everything in this song fits Nick and Charlie perfectly. Not only is the general love stuff always a fit, but they are also currently
Turning over a new leaf.
It's an easy 5 out of 5 relevance leaves rating for this one. This seems to be a song about trying to rekindle something in a relationship even though hurts were had in the past. This song doesn't really fit thematically, but the chorus bit we hear in the scene is very on the nose for a scene of the kids trying to find their new place in the world. Of course, this particular university doesn't end up being the right place for anyone in this group, so that lyric doesn't end up being that fitting after all. Just one leave for that. This song is about almost getting back with your ex, I think, but ultimately deciding they're both happier on their own. Ola Gartland is actually singing in this song. We've previously had these iconic musical moments with Ola Gartland on the show.
So why am I like this? Why am I like this? Why am I like this? Why am I?
Of course, this scene is not about relationships at all, but the chorus is very spot on for Tara right now.
Yeah, that was a close one. We were really going through it. Guess we dodged another bullet. We know that we're happier.
In this moment, Tara knows Oxford is not the future she wants, and she almost gave up on her own happiness to chase the dream that was never hers. Sadly, that alone is not enough to give this a big pile of relevance leaves, so all I can give this is a generous 2-leaf rating. This is actually a pretty dark song that seems to be about an emotionally abusive ex. Here's what Joesef has said about the song. When I made that song, it was one of my least favorites that I've made, but everybody loved it. I never really went out and out with mental health or spoke about it, so for me personally, it was a bit too close to the bone. I felt like the last man on earth when I wrote that song. I was like, I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to not feel like this. Then when I went and played it live, it was such a unifying experience, especially at the Glasgow shows. It felt like it was everybody together, and I was like, God, I'm not alone. I'm not alone in my feelings here. We're all in this together. Playing the song live gave it a new life for me. It would have been cute and cheeky to have a song called Joe be a little tongue-in-cheek thing about how we have Joe instead of Charlie, but I have to say that the lyrics don't relate to the scene in any other part than "Don't you ever leave," which could work for Leeds University calling to Nick, but the next line is too ominous. However, the very first lines at the start of the song are actually very thematic for Nick trying to decide what to do with his life.
How much of myself can I give away till there's nothing left to take from me?
He really needs to decide if he's going to live life for himself or other people. These two bits together still only amount to 1 leaf on my relevance scale because the rest of the song is just too bleak for this. This is a song about uncertainty about what to do with a relationship. To me, this song reads as a situation where the singer doesn't know if they should continue or end a relationship, and they just land in this in-between state of not knowing and just going with the flow while they would still like some clarity. They're trying to convince themselves that not knowing and just living in the moment can be okay. So, not relevant to anything in the scene. I do think the chorus can fit somewhat, with Charlie trying to let go of his worries and just live his life in the moment and have a good time.
What if we just leave a hurt hanging around? Don't try to fix it if it isn't broke. Looking for the answers to the questions that we're asking, but we'll never know.
It's kind of a stretch, but since I included the whole chorus, let's give it 2 leaves.
I'm gonna live my life to love me.
Because this song is relevant to the plot and characters, I already discussed this one in my full Heartstopper deep dive video for season 3 episode 8, so if you somehow haven't seen that, I recommend you watch it, as my main videos are way better and more in-depth than these supplemental ones. However, the summarized version of what was said there is that this song was created by composer Agnieszka Chase, who also appears in the show as the keyboard player. This song is indeed about Imogen, but it is mostly about Sahar moving on with her life. The title is of course based on this moment in Paris.
Do you think this is right?
I don't take French, but I know that's wrong.
All right. I don't take French either. C'est la vie.
The song tells a very straightforward story.
I'll tidy up my life. I don't even know what, because I don't even care. That was us. I'm gonna live my life. C'est la vie. Life gets down, you get stuck. Just because you fall doesn't mean you can't get back up.
And in case you were wondering what the French parts that Layla struggled through very Britishly were,
Timid, they come in bus.
determined like a boss.
Run is way for us.
My spirit is fierce. Not really hard to guess even if you don't know French, but still. This song was literally made for the show about a character performed by said character, so it's an easy 5 out of 5 relevance leaves. Whether it is a good song is a matter of opinion, and I have seen those. It's a song by a teenager performed at a local fair, so it's not going to be the most amazing song ever written. But big kudos for Layla for conquering her fear and singing this for the whole world when she's not a singer. She sounds like she knows what she's doing. This is a song reminiscing about being 17.
Okay, and then hopefully you've seen the last episode. If not, this is going to be kind of spoilers, but then my song The Outsiders plays in episode 8 during the fate, so here. And I get some cool little spark animations, so. Thank you, Heartstopper. Thank you, Netflix. I really appreciate it. This is like so sick. Watch the show. It's amazing.
Friends, first your friends, in the back rows, in the town we outgrew. My car in the front yard with the boom bars, little bar without you.
The specifics of the song are not one-to-one with the Heartstopper teens, but the feeling of being young and experiencing things from that unique perspective does hit for the scene, especially this part.
17 strung out and crazy, acting like I'm in love. I never thought it'd be something that I waited for, but you were different to me, like most things actually are. Take it off and say my name, it'll never be the same.
But even from that, I have to deduct points for the acting like you're in love, so 2 leaves is all I can give because the rest of it is too specific.
My friends, first your friends, in the back rows, in the town we outgrew. My car in the front yard. There's a million little reasons why I like your smile.
What a sweet song to end the series on. The lyrics for this song are actually really short. This is all of it.
There's a million little reasons for why I like your smile. There's a million little reasons for why I like your style. If I tried to write them down, I'd run out of ink. There's a million little reasons for why I want you here. There's a million little reasons for why I want you near. If I tried to write them down, I'd run out of ink.
I think that's just perfect for Nick and Charlie in general, and this tender moment. I'm so happy that we're ending on another 5 out of 5 relevant song, even though it's a very silly metric to judge a soundtrack. In addition to the old mixtapes in the Heartstopper books, Alice has also made Spotify playlists that Nick and Charlie would have made for each other. I put the links to both in the description. And that's the end of my music deep dive series for season 3. This series was a big flop for my channel. People were saying they wanted me to talk about the music more, but I clearly wasn't up to the task as not many people ended up watching. If you're still here, you're a super rare breed. I know people do that put this random word in your comments so people who didn't watch till the end are confused thing for engagement bait, but I'm genuinely curious how many of you actually watched this whole series since the view counts are so low. So if you're still here, leave a comment about which song you thought was the most fitting for the scene it was featured in this season. It took me absolutely forever to finish the content I promised about season 3. I really hope I do a better job with the movie. I'm not going to let it take as long for the last hurrah. I don't know when I'll be back with more content, as we still know nothing about when the movie will be coming out and when promo will start, but I'll be putting every source I find for the movie deep dive on my Patreon as it comes out, as I have been doing this whole time. So I'll likely be seeing you again when the Heartstopper Forever promo kicks off. I hope you thought this series had something to offer, and I thank you for your support, as always. Bye for now!